so I can gain the strength. Milk the system of diamonds. Make sure she flex on the way to the church. I'm hell on as big as a Christ.
Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Siithembs, Dotshavich, and today I'm going to be creating a video sharing why I quit social media management. This is not an entirety thing, but I'm not committing to becoming a great social media management, nor am I looking for employment along those lines. If anything, I'm trying to fizzle down and not be available for those kind of opportunities.
My gorgeous self, but you can call me Siithembs. I am South African. I'm a queen. Yes, that's all I am. Thank you.
And I'm going to share 5 reasons why I'm doing this. I don't hate social media. Social media is something that I am actually very obsessed with in many ways, not just as a platform where you get likes, you create communities, etc., etc. As an artist, I think it's a great opportunity to be able to have like the leverage, or rather the power, to share your creativity with strangers, and then from there you take it and do whatever you want to do with it. So I'll always love it and always value it, and I'll always encourage everyone to do it. But as a person that's been helping other businesses and people to do this, I've kind of burnt out.
In terms of who I am, I know the crown is not there to explain. I am a storyteller. I'm an artist. I love finding ways and means to say so much more than what is able to be said right now. So I'm a dancer, I'm an actor, I am a model, I'm all the fabulous stuff you can be on stage. That's what I am. Anything that allows me to tell a story, that's what I am.
Burnt out in doing this because actually a lot of companies take you for a yes, that, you know, whatever word you substituted there, they take you for that. And it's annoying because social media as a responsibility is actually taxing. It's not hard, but it is taxing. You wear a lot of hats all at once, and that's just not the buzz. So if anything, I would start with that. That is my first reason out of the 5. You wear so many hats to achieve certain things, and you're alone.
I love the most about what I do, I think it's something that brought me in. It's expression. Seeing the fact that in all the artistic avenues and spaces that I've chosen, beyond my choice actually, they've all allowed me to share a story, to speak a bit more and louder. So what I love about art in general is the fact that I can actually express myself beyond what people see in me. I know people see it as a performance, but I'm just like, I'm actually expressing myself, yeah, okay.
And the money that you're being paid to wear all these hats is actually not worth it at the end of the day. And I started social media management understanding its value and the remuneration that people were getting, and it is great. Ultimately, it is great. It's only when you start admitting to yourself that you can't do everything and you're going to need help from certain professionals, let's say a videographer, a photographer, a thumbnail maker, obviously a lot of these things you already know how to do it yourself, but once you start expanding and you're becoming bigger, you will need assistance. But then when you start bringing that assistance, the amount of money that you have available to pay them versus what you're being paid holistically is not that much. And as a social media manager, the moment you start charging exorbitant amount of money, then you're no longer the person that the company wants to use, because there's so many different types of social media managers. People that actually know what they're doing, people that studied marketing also that don't necessarily have a knack on social media but the certificate to say they might do, and then people that are just trying their luck. There's just a pool of people to choose from, and at the moment, especially with companies not fully understanding the value of social media, they almost will take anything, and if you're going to charge them way too much, they're going to leave you and go to the next person.
Challenge. The biggest challenge I would say is money. It's the fact that I don't wake up feeling confident that I'm going to be employed. I don't wake up feeling confident that my skill, my talent is worth paying for, because we live in a world where they don't pay us for being fabulous, right? So that's the only thing that I would say as an artist I am battling with, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I still believe I am a superstar and I will be a superstar. But again, it is a challenge because I do need to pay for my bread, you know? It costs a bit of a 20 Rand a day. Thank you.
So it's not worth wearing all these hats and not necessarily being paid to do that. When it's worth it, it's at the beginning, which is why I see why I found it so fun. Where at the beginning I wore all these hats and I was learning skill after skill and I was committed, and now all these skills, and when I come to you and you want the best from me, I don't look at these skills as just disposable skills that I might have to help out. I worked on them and you need to pay for them if you need them and you don't have them. You are outsourcing, and everything you outsource from me, even if it's an extra, you pay for. Do you know what I'm saying? That's reason number one. Reason number two, it's no longer for me so creative, especially for businesses. The more you get into it is the fact that there's so many people with opinions of what you're doing, and I don't mind that actually. I found myself that I don't mind that, but you are not allowed to be creative. And by that I mean, partly why a lot of people would, let's say a lot of companies would work with me, is the understanding of the algorithm. You respond to the algorithm beyond just trends, but you can smell the language, you can understand what it hears, and sometimes it doesn't look professional for a brand, and having those blockages and those obstacles can be a lot, because eventually it's like, babe, I've been doing all this work and a lot of the things that I'm posting for you guys are not necessarily interesting, but they are good for your audience in building the community, the trust and the education for them to understand what you're on about. But for you to get that viral moment, you as a business are going to have to let loose a little bit. You have to let go and trust the social media manager to gooi and pull through and speak to your audience as they should, not as you think they should. So with that said, again, a lot of content has become generic and I don't like that. I can create it, I know, and also again, like, there's companies that love that. I don't. And I understand that they're cool with that energy, but for me to wake up and do so much work for something generic and something that doesn't have that much impact, no. You know, so that's the other thing.
Queer superstar, you baby, you thingy, you colorful thing. I will tell you one thing about you, is that you are absolute magic. And that's why you've caused so much havoc in the world, because people don't know how to deal with the essence of who you are. So keep working on everything that's you, and remember, you are magic, darling.
And then another thing also when it comes to social media management, what I've also loved coming from it is the fact that it has inspired me to go to marketing. And as I have immersed myself in the world of marketing, I've also understood that social media management is not the only thing that's there. It is something that I obviously it's something that I'm comfortable with and something that I'm good at. If I would go to a marketing company, that is the very first thing that I would do and go up. But now I'm at a point where I don't even want to do that when I go into a marketing company, because I have that skill, but I also don't want to corner myself like that. And I want something that's going to be creative. So essentially, when it comes to marketing, branding, strategy, you know, all those kind of things, focusing on your KPIs, campaigns, unique campaigns, and also offline work, you know, when you're doing PR, what is this called? The pop-ups, the different things, the different creative things that we as people in marketing attempt and do to engage with the audience. That's what I want to do. I want to work with the people. Currently, with social media, I haven't been engaging with humans for a very long time and I'm bored. I'm Siithembs. I love human spirit. You know what I'm saying? And then one of the biggest things, which is number 4, that I don't like about being a social media manager, because it's social media and the way it started, people have an understanding or an obscure understanding of what social media is, right? And social media is the long game. Babes, it's a long game. Even the people that know me, support me, and people that have this, you know, that what is this thing? Like, I don't have the English words. When people feel so close to everything that you achieve, not like success, but you know what I mean, because they've been supporting you for so long and they've seen the different versions of you, that's when your brand has value, or when it starts picking up value. When people have seen you in different spheres, experience your brand online in different perspectives, you can't come in 6 months and you just like, come on. Do you know what I'm saying? too short, and even if you do get a viral moment, you don't live in people's hearts and brains yet. But they might remember you for that one video, but when they're ready to buy, they're not going to think of you. So there's so much more work, and brands don't understand that immediately. They want chop, they want virality. I can create viral content, but I don't like viral content if we don't have a beautiful base for people to land on. Because I've seen this with me as well. Of course, I'm no longer a big content creator, but I created for so long, so much content, and I was like, God, please let it work. But when that one video blew up, oh, my profiles across were ready, besides YouTube, of course, but my profiles were ready. They were ready to take on that attention and we gooi. But I was not ready, obviously, because I was just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But anyway, brands need to be patient, and they need to work with their social media accordingly and to respect their social media manager and add them in bigger conversations, because you are using me as your voice of your company. If you're only adding me at the end, you don't get the vibes, because also guess who communicates with your customers the most? Not you. It's me. And if you don't respect my feedback when it comes to that, then I don't want to be around. You know what I'm saying? Then what am I doing? Am I just posting? And then finally, when it comes to social media management, I think more than anything, because I understand the heart of it and the kind of commitment to, which is now, this is my fifth and last little lesson that I'm sharing with you, because I understand it so much. Like, I get so annoyed when I'm doing all this work and it's not being valued, right? And then I understand what I'm taking away from myself, because at the same time, even though you're paying me to do all this work.
Hey, it's Jay from Community TV. Want to support us and our channel? We'll be releasing a colorful collection of A3 prints with nationwide delivery in South Africa, available from Friday the 17th of June 2022. Shop them on our website, communitytv.com.
I'm also consciously letting my work stop online. I'm trying to make you big. I'm trying to build a community for you. But if you're not working with me, and I'm not building much for you, but I'm also not building much for myself, I go mad. So that's how we got to this conclusion, or rather the transition, where I will always be in marketing because it's something that I love so much. It's something that, again, I've been engaged with since I was a child, and now I understand it on a more corporate or in a more capitalistic way, and I am happy to join this world and share stories, because fundamentally that's it. And that's my transition in the upcycling world of fashion, where I love clothes. I just cannot afford clothing, and I've always had this negative perspective of hand-me-downs, because that's what I've always gotten. I never got a lot of new clothes. I always got something secondhand. Someone gave me this, or you know what I'm saying? So I want to move on away from seeing that as bad. I'm finding passion in us upcycling, in us using what's already there, but then breathing in new life. That's like where my perspective changes. That's where I'm now excited. I've always seen this. It's not something new, I know, but I'm no longer trying to get new clothes. I'm no longer trying to chase designer clothing or trying to, whatever it may be. I want to have the power to be able to curate what I want to express, or how I want to express myself out of the world like that, in however way, with the materials that I have. And I have so many old clothes that are not lekker immediately when you look at them, but I'm an artist. Whenever I say that, I never actually even think of one art form that I am into. I always connect to the fact that I create, right? I've never made clothes intensely, and I don't know why, but my spirit is ready to explore. And that's what I'm going to be focusing on, in creating content that is going to be elevating my life. And I want to contribute strategies, being part of PRs and Xhosa for other companies. But otherwise, I don't want to be sitting. Being a social media manager, you spend your whole day posting in 7 million accounts for one company that it doesn't even look at your report. Which, again, I've had amazing experiences with other people. I've had, like, even my first big client that I had, they used to love my reports. And I used to love that it was so engaged, and we made decisions around that report. I felt like I was a part of the company, do you know what I'm saying? But then, again, I've made this decision from a lot of research. I know so many social media managers, and I also know so many agencies, marketing agencies and social media agencies as well. Like I am in tune, I'm in touch and within the world of social media / marketing. So this holistically for me is a great decision long term. Look, I will never leave social media. I am social media with you now. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'll continue gauging my skills and learning and becoming better, and will still offer the services, but that's not my main thing. I think more than anything, it's me sharing that I am going into fashion. I don't care. I know that in my previous videos and in a lot of things that I've shown you guys, it's bonkers what I have there and it doesn't make sense, and I'm not going to take these things off. It's also a reflection of my lack of understanding of how to position myself in this world. I'm learning, I am very creative, and I love expressing myself through fashion. I know you do too, but it is about time where I no longer just wait for the days where I'm imagining myself as an MC or as a person that's hosting something that's big, that's going to be wearing 4 outfits and me going up and down trying to make things happen of that nature. I'm building my brand. Like I said, I'm Siithembs Dotshavich. Dotshavich is a whole new surname that you might not be inclined. Stop it with the English words. Actually, leave the jargon. Inclined is not even a jargon. But you might not understand why I'm Dotshavich if you know me as Dotwana. But this is important to me, and I'm taking that power, that freedom. Again, if you've watched my channel for years, you will understand one thing about me. I've been on a journey of self-discovery in many ways. And I'm coming to a point where I feel like I'm getting very comfortable with who I am. The skin in which I have been taking care of for all these years to come and express myself in these different spaces. Cape Town, Johannesburg, Africa, the world. And fashion is going to be such a beautiful thing for me to go and grow with. I will be implementing your marketing, your dancing, and all the other skills that you know that I'm attuned or blessed with, including acting. All of that will still be incorporated in my fashion world. But fashion, darling, is the goal. I want to have a store. I want to sell thrift clothes, secondhand, upcycle clothing, everything. I just want to make people feel the way I feel when I see clothes, when I wear clothes, or at least, especially those upcycled, where I want to change and be part of the community that is working to save the planet, yes, but also to change the perspective of like the consumerism behavior. And in South Africa also, because I think it also comes with being African, with this whole hand-me-downs things, you know, it almost solidifies or makes you feel poor or poorer. So I want to glamorize the upcycling more and more in South Africa, and I want people to be able to purchase upcycled clothes or products and feel like they have something brand new. I am a custodian of stories. I love curating, crafting, and possibly like transcending narratives beyond time. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that makes sense. So I won't be selling clothes, I'll be selling stories, but I'm gonna have to think about them. I'm gonna have to look at these things and be like, oh my gosh, what are you saying to me? Because whatever I hear, I need to be able to communicate. So that's partly why I am quitting social media management. Again, I will still be within the world, but I'm not going to be chasing to manage people's social medias at all. Before I leave, I would like to share 3 great lessons I did learn from social media, which I would like to leave with you so that you understand, like, you're always going to learn something from things that you try out. You never lose, you know what I'm saying? One of the things was consistency. I've always known this before I even managed people's social medias, when I was still building for myself. Consistency is king. You have to post all the time, but quality over quantity. I'm changing my words again from that other video, but I'm not going to change that video either. I think it's a growth thing where you just up and down, you keep on trying and trial and error with everything. Consistency. But how I'd advise you to be consistent, it's understanding the big product and what you're going for, and then breaking that down into pieces and not stressing out the full thing, but your first 3 videos, 3 pictures, whatever content that you wish to create. You know what I'm saying? And then more than anything, one of the things that make me still want to post on YouTube, something that makes me appreciate marketing, something that I know for a fact that I'll always be on social media, storytelling. Please, whatever you do, have a story on social media, not just on social media, in life. Products, your dreams, created to become a story. You just need to package it for the world so that you're able to sell that or trade that, whatever it is. Stories are the only thing that actually make the world go round. They are. And everything that you have, do, or believe in is eventually a story. So choose very wisely, understand your background, where you're going, and do share your dreams. People want to know what's going on inside of you. Lastly, one thing, it's a tip from my side, that please don't even try following every trend. Don't! Because what's gonna happen is that you're gonna eventually start molding your fabric or your identity through all these trends, and you're gonna lose who you are. And I'm saying that from, I've learned that, been there, done that already, where I was clearly like popping, and then eventually I was lazy to create, so I was just joining any trend that was working. And then when I was bored with trends, I was like, who am I again? And also the other problem with this is that when you are ready to give your work to the people, now they forgot who you are, and it's no longer desirable to see whatever you think is fun. Or at least your spirit of translating whatever is in your mind is no longer the same as then, because you do not keep on working on it. Because you wanted trends, you wanted followers, you were chasing. Don't chase. Know exactly how you are being of service to your community. Hence, I finally can confidently say I'm quitting, because that was my biggest struggle of trying to understand how am I being of service to my community, and I didn't know. And I think being part of the sustainable fashion industry, I'm very clear on how I could share some knowledge, and more than knowledge, ideas, and like crafty ideas, because that's what we do. I'm wearing my apron because I've been at it. Do you know what I'm saying? I won't stay for too long. This video probably was too long. I love you. Thank you so much for giving me your time. I'll be here every single Monday. I will not stop, even if it means I need to delete TikTok and IG for a while so that I can focus on YouTube, because this is better. I love actually just, you know what I'm saying? My name is Siithembs, Dotshavich. See you next week when I start week 1 of the Artist's Way. This is still my week 0. I told you that week was week 0, but in my diary I have 2 week 0s, just because again, last week I made this video impromptu. This week is officially where there's a lot of reading, hey, before you do this. I've done the reading already, but I need to redo it for the spirit of, and I've been writing every day. But the thing about me doing it later is for content reasons, where I want to clean my phone and I want to take you along every day, not every day, but every week. What I did, what I'm doing, where I'm going, because I do believe that I don't have to be popular or famous after this 12 weeks, but I wish to share a journey of vulnerability and growth and see what comes out of this. The cool thing about this book is that you don't have to do it once, you can do it as many times as you need to, but obviously be disciplined with that. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, hope to inspire someone today, tomorrow, or when they come back here, because I don't know how tomorrow looks like. I've imagined it. I'm currently in the process of curating it. Have a stunning week. See you next week, darling.